problem. It's part of that too.
Excuse me for interrupting. I'm sorry to tell you our time is out. I know
I have one huge question.
Okay.
Could I ask?
Oh, yes, of course.
And I have to phrase this. I can't think of anyone else in the world to ask this to. But since I got back from China, and I've spent a lot of time in India, and certainly in the United States, so I'm very interested in democracy working. And I realized that capitalism is not compatible with democracy. I realize that as far as an economic system is concerned, socialism is compatible with democracy. Therefore, a democratic socialism is the answer, in my opinion. Now, when you have an essentially unenlightened public who has the freedom to vote against its own will, against its own best interests, how do you square that with the lack of time on the planet?
Yeah. First I will answer as a Swede.
Yes.
Because this is our central issue. I mean, we opted for, I'm a die-hard reformist and a democratic socialist.
Yeah.
But I see socialism coming about as a gradual educational process almost,
Yeah.
where the people gradually take more and more of the responsibility that so far has been given to the few capital owners.
Yes.
And we have been able to afford this gradual process, and we will continue it. In some of the third world countries, they can't afford, don't have the time.
But does anyone have the time?
Yes, because
Or are you
they need sufficiently daring political leadership. You can go back, we can lose once in a while, but if you just continue, you have to have the people with you. And if you don't have the people with you and do it by coercion, it's not. I mean, Heilbronner, who wrote an article that's saying that it's a very good article.
Yeah.
Dictatorship is necessary, otherwise the planet will burst. I say no. I'm more optimistic than Heilbronner. I think that by a combination of reason and emotion, which is the basis of socialism, the problems can be solved. But we shouldn't expect every country to be a full-fledged democracy from the beginning. We should expect a lot of hardship. But I remain a democratic optimist, by and large. I think that
even in the face of the obvious conflagration that's going on with the big companies who are indeed running this world.
Yes.
Countries aren't running the world.
No.
Economic business is running the world.
Yes, but there I think that by a combination, if the small countries keep together against the multinationals, if we can rouse the labor unions against the multinationals, and if we can instill a sense of social change
But
in
they
America,
want to be millionaires too. They would like to be a multinational. How do the labor unions?
well, some of them, but I think there is a great change in some of the labor unions. Hopefully, this change will come also to the United States, of a much greater sense of social equality and economic democracy. And there are a countervailing force to the multinationals, the one I trust most in a sense.
Yes.
Because to get governments to act has been very, very difficult as long as the American government does not act.
Yes, well, the American government is the people. And if the people still hang on to this Horatio Alger myth
Yes.
that they can become Rockefeller if they work hard enough,
Yes.
how will anything get solved?
Yes.
That's my problem.
Yeah,
That's
but
why when I look at Carter's energy speech and I say, yes, that's fine that he's telling us we've indulged ourselves too much in waste. We know that. But he didn't go after the culprit.
No, but I think that capitalism is living through its worst crisis for a long time because it hasn't been able to solve the things it's been That is his credo, to give work, to give economic growth, and to give social justice. And therefore, I think capitalism will erode. And what we have to think about very, very strongly and long range, what to put instead of capitalism. It will take some time, and there will be some hard battles. But it's...
Why don't you think socialism has come more quickly to America?
Because they didn't organize sufficiently, because you had the open frontiers, where you could... the Horatio Alger myth could live on, because there was some unknown frontier where some people made good, because capitalism was possible to take such power over politics.
Greed.
Yes.
Greed, the sense of wanting to possess more and more and more and more, is the American dream.
Yes, but that dream, will people discover that it can't be fulfilled, and then they will search for something else, which is a community.
And you're saying we have time for them to realize that?
Oh, I
Because
hope
if
so.
America doesn't, I don't think it's going to happen, do you?
I hope so. It is, when I went to school in the United States, this was a happy country in Truman times. The world was ours for the taking. When I came back 25 years later, it was a deeply divided, shocked, disunited country with a terrible amount of unemployment and so on. But I think that maybe out of this crisis can come a new sense of optimism, that is, that in communion, if you keep together and don't have too many myths, the world may be ours, the people's, for the taking.
So the real solution is to look at the reality of the
Yes.
activity. I hope there's time.
Thank you so much, Shirley MacLaine, for running this show. Would you like to stay? I'm quite sure we can offer you a full-time job. And I would like to end this program with one of your songs. It says, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Don't do that yet, please. Och inte du heller, Olof Palme. Thank you so much for coming to us, and it's been a pleasure. Good luck with your tour. Tack Olof Palme för att du ville komma hit. Och Kvällsöppet är alltså slut för ikväll. Vi är tillbaka imorgon, och vad vi har för ämne då, det vet vi faktiskt inte nu. God natt.